Hi students, welcome to the second part of the video for reflection of light. Objective for today is to identify the law of reflection. So in the previous video, we have learned how to draw a ray diagram for reflection of light, where the light that is coming and falling onto the surface, like mirror, is the incident light ray, and this is the reflected light ray. The point at which the light is incident is called the point of incidence. The angle between the normal and the incident light ray is I. Angle between the normal and the reflected light ray is called the angle of reflection, represented as R. This dotted line is a normal. This is a line perpendicular to the surface at which the light is incident. So today we are going to learn the law of reflection. So before coming into the topic, let's have a brief description about each term. The surface separating the two media is called the interface or boundary. Look into the figure. This is a mirror. Okay, so this is air and the mirror is made of glass. So this is a boundary which separates the air and glass, two mediums. And this interface or this surface which separates the two medium is called the boundary. The point at which the incident ray strikes the interface is called the point of incidence. So this is a point of incidence. So it is hitting on this point, particular point on the surface of glass, on the boundary. That point is called point of incidence. I is the angle made by the incident ray and the normal to the interface, and it is called the angle of incidence. This is the angle of incidence. It's the angle made by the incident ray and the normal. Now the angle made by the reflected ray and the normal is called the angle of reflection, represented as small letter r. Now law of reflection. What does law of reflection states? Law of reflection states that the angle of incidence is equivalent to the angle of reflection. Is I is always equivalent to R. So this angle, the angle at which the light is incident on the surface or the boundary, is equivalent to the angle at which the light gets reflected off. It means, for example, if this is 40 degree, R will also be 40 degree. So here you have an example. A light ray strikes a reflective plane surface at an angle of 56 degree with the surface. So the light is striking the boundary and it is making an angle with the surface 56 degree. Find the angle of incidence, find the angle of reflection, find the angle made by the reflected ray and the surface, find the angle made by the incident ray and the reflected rays. So first you have to draw the figure. So first you have to draw the boundary. Then the light is incident on this point of incidence. So this is the incident ray. And the question, it states that the light strikes a plane surface at an angle of 56 degree with the surface. So with the surface or with the boundary, the incident ray is making an angle of 56 degree. Now after that you will draw the normal. You will draw the reflected ray. Mark I and R. And this is the angle made by the reflected ray on the surface. Let us represent it as Q. So as I said, this normal is perpendicular to the surface. That means the angle between the normal and the surface, the total angle is 90 degree. And this angle is given 56 degree. So from the diagram, we can say that the angle of incidence is, the total is 90 degree and this much is 56 degree. So I will be 90 minus 56, that is 34 degree. Now how will you find the angle of reflection? By law of reflection, we know angle of incidence is equivalent to angle of reflection. So I is equivalent to R, that is equivalent to 34 degree by law of reflection. Now I have to find this angle. That is the third question. Part C. The angle made by the reflected ray and the surface. So the total is 90 degree. This is 34 degree. So this angle will be 90 minus 34, that is 56 degree. And the last question is to find the total angle made by the incident ray and the reflected ray. So this angle plus this angle. So I plus R is 34 plus 34, that is 68 degree. So that's the answer for this question. Hope it is clear. Now, the next question is, the diagram shows light ray incident on a plane mirror. So this is the light ray which is incident on a plane mirror at a point Q, and PQ is the normal. It is incident at an angle of 40 degree. Which row gives the angle of reflection and the name of line PQ? So you have to find the angle of reflection and the name of PQ. So you have to find the angle of reflection. So since angle of incidence is 40 degree, angle of reflection will also be 40 degree, and name of the line PQ is normal. So 40 degree normal. So this A is the answer for this question. Now coming to the next question. Light is incident on a mirror. The light is reflected from the mirror. The angle of incidence is I and the angle of reflection is R. Which diagram correctly shows I and R? So you have to find which ray diagram is the exact ray diagram for the reflection of light which is incident on the mirror. So here this is not correct. This is not correct. Yes. See, this is the incident ray, reflected ray, angle of incidence, angle of reflection, normal. So C is the answer. Hope that is clear. Thank you.